There are many kinds of silence in the universe. There is the peaceful quiet between the stars, a silence of immense distance and profound possibility. And then there is the other kind, the heavy, absolute silence of a graveyard, a silence that holds a final, unanswered question. What if there was a place where all the lost ships in the galaxy eventually came to rest? A dark corner of the void where every journey ends and no story is ever told? Tonight, we travel to a place of cosmic dread, a rogue planet that collects ghosts. This is the story of the Iron Graveyard of Tartarus, Part 1, The Detour. In the vast, starless oceans between galaxies, there are wanderers. Rogue planets, cast out from their home systems, drifting in an eternal, freezing night. For humanity's deep space explorers, these were objects of curiosity, but nothing more. Until the long-range survey vessel Magellan, on the final leg of a routine 5-year mission, detected the impossible. It was a signal, not a call for help. Not a greeting, a structured, repeating pulse of energy, too complex to be natural. It was a heartbeat in the void, emanating from a rogue planet designated Tartarus. Captain Eva Rostova, a veteran of the deep dark, was faced with a choice: follow protocol and log the anomaly for a future mission, or burn their remaining fuel on a detour that was years off course. For Eva, there was no choice. The silence of space is broken for a reason. You must listen. Part 2, The Arrival. Weeks later, the Magellan arrived. Tartarus was a colossal sphere of black ice and frozen methane, scarred by billions of years of cosmic impacts. It absorbed the light, a true sphere of darkness. But the signal wasn't coming from the planet. As the Magellan's powerful searchlights cut through the void, the ship's sensors screamed with impossible readings. They were not alone. The truth was revealed in a slow, horrifying pan of the ship's external cameras. Surrounding Tartarus, in a chaotic but stable orbit, was a fleet, a ghost fleet. Hundreds, perhaps thousands, of derelict alien starships, silent, dead. From colossal organic vessels that looked like bone, to crystalline shards that defied physics, to brutalist war machines scarred with unknown battles. It was not a place of arrival. It was a place of ending. The Iron Graveyard. Part 3. The Archives of the Dead. A mission of exploration had become a forensic investigation. The crew launched drones, then 2 explorers on an EVA, to board a selection of the silent vessels. Each ship was a new mystery, a new ghost story written in an alien tongue. The first was a vessel of impossible size, its architecture Gothic and cathedral-like. Inside, they found the desiccated remains of a communal insectoid species. Their final logs, translated by the ship's AI, spoke of a pilgrimage, of following a signal they believed was a call from their god. The second ship was the opposite, small, sterile, and biomechanical. It pulsed with a faint, residual energy. The crew was a crystalline, silicon-based life form, seemingly merged with their own vessel. Their scientific logs were pristine. They had tracked the signal across galaxies, believing it to be the ultimate key to understanding dark energy. Their final entry was one of triumphant discovery, followed by an abrupt, inexplicable silence. The third was a warship, battered and scarred. The crew, a powerful reptilian race, had followed the signal believing it was a challenge from a worthy foe, or the location of an ultimate weapon. Their final log was not one of reverence or discovery, but of rage and confusion. They had arrived for a battle and found only silence. Then, their own ship had simply died. 3 species, 3 motives: God, science, war, all drawn to this one dark place, all silenced. Part 4. The source of the signal. Back on the Magellan, the crew pieced together the terrifying puzzle. The signal was still pulsing, a steady, patient heartbeat at the center of the graveyard. It was a lure, a beacon. They triangulated its source to a single colossal object at the very heart of the debris field. A ship far older, far larger, and far more alien than any of the others. Its design was non-Euclidean, a structure that seemed to fold in on itself, built from a material that reflected no light. Captain Rostova made the final, dangerous call. They had to go inside. The interior of this ancient ship was not dead. It was a single, vast chamber, and in its center, floating in a perfect sphere of contained energy, was the source of the signal. Crystalline power, a light lattice. The lighthouse hummed. Part 5. The lighthouse keeper's purpose. As the explorers approached, the lighthouse spoke. Not with sound, but directly into their minds. A flood of pure concept and ancient memory. It explained its purpose. It was an archive, a self-aware historian created by a species that had transcended physical form billions of years ago. Its purpose was to preserve the stories of civilizations that reached the peak of interstellar travel. The signal was a call, tailored to the desires of any species that could detect it, a promise of God, knowledge, or conquest. When a civilization arrived, the lighthouse would offer them a choice: continue their chaotic, often self-destructive path through the cosmos, a path that almost always ended in self-annihilation, or retire, enter a peaceful, collective immortality. Their entire civilization's consciousness downloaded into the lighthouse's infinite matrix, their story preserved forever. Their ships, now empty, became silent monuments in the iron graveyard. It was not a trap. It was an offer of salvation, an exit. The crew of the Magellan returned to their ship, the lighthouse's final message echoing in their minds. It had seen humanity's potential, our art, our love, our endless, violent contradictions. And now, it was offering us the same choice. The signal, which had been a mystery, was now an invitation. Captain Rostova looked at her crew, and then back at the silent, waiting graveyard. And the video ends on the most profound question any explorer could ever face. What do you do when you find the end of the road? And so, the lighthouse waits, a promise of eternal peace, and an end to all struggle. It is not a monster. It is a choice, a final, terrifying question posed not by a creature, but by the universe itself. It leaves us to wonder, what is the greater risk? The chaotic, often violent struggle for existence among the stars? Or the perfect, eternal silence of a story that has already been written? If you believe the journey is worth the risk, that the unknown is more valuable than any safe harbor, then you have a place with us. Subscribe to Out of Space and never stop looking up.